Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for tuning back in. Now, in the spirit of my motto, which is don't just repair, restore, we're going to try to restore some mufflers. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. But I think we're going to try anyway. And the reason is I don't like them because they're dented up. Whoops, they're dented up really bad. Let me show you it in more detail before we get too far. You see we got a bunch of dents here. Just little ones. It looks cheesy. You know, it looks like something that some kid would put on a homemade 1970s go-kart or something, you know. It's pretty crappy. And I think these are more of a universal muffler. The more research I do, Supertrapp, they're the ones that take the discs at the end. And not to be confused with the band, Supertrapp. I know, Supertramp. I know. Okay, I'm just a little joke. So, this is the plan. Let me tell you what the plan is first. The plan is I need to get the cores out of these. And then I'm going to try something. I got an idea on how to get some of these dents out. So we'll do that. And then, you know, we'll take it from there. And I guess I'll have to order some more packing and stuff because there's packing inside here. Between this inner, I don't know what this pipe is called, all little holes in it, baffle. And then in the outer part there's some packing. You can kind of hear it when you shake it. It's moving around. And you know, make a noise. And what I can do is I can order some of that. I know I can get that from Supertrapp. There we go. Supertrapp. Now you made me put that band in my brain. And I know I can get that stuff. And I know I have to replace the caps because somebody butchered them. I'll have to dig those up and show you them. But I know I can get all those parts. What I really can't get is another exhaust system for it, and I'd prefer to do that. I would just prefer I would prefer just to get another exhaust system for it, but they're either $1,000 to $1,500 or not available at all. It's just not a lot available for this this configuration. You know, while I'm at it, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of the motor. I got most of that back together, and then we'll get back on this. Yeah, I'm liking that. It looks a lot better. So, sneak peek. Yeah. When it'll go back in there, I don't know. But you'll be there to see it. So anyway, let's get back to the task at hand, which is the mufflers over there. The other one is still attached to the pipe, the 2-into-1 pipe. Two pipes in one. And I'm going to have a bitch of a time getting that off, I know, but what I want to do first is make sure I can get this core out. And then if I can get this one out and separate this part from the other pipe, 2-into-1 pipe, I will do the same thing. Now what I did was as a kind of a proof of, not concept, but test, is I took a screw and I put it into one of the holes here and then put the screw in the vise and started banging on this part, which is pretty solid with a dead blow. And I got it to move a little bit. The only problem is that's pretty thin. And the screws keep pulling out. I don't want to damage these threads. So I think instead of trying to drill and tap, which is not going to work because it's so thin, I'm going to go ahead and weld a small bolt. Pretty long one though, a small diameter that is, and long. That way I can grab that in the vise, and we'll just use that to hold it, and we'll bang this thing out, and then we'll take a look at it. Then we'll get on the other one and get the muffler off that 2-into-1 pipe, hopefully. So let me get set up for a weld. We'll go ahead and get this hooked up and then see if it works. If you're seeing this, it worked. I mean, why the hell put something on there that don't work, right? You'll be like, that's a letdown, but trying not to let you down. So let's go ahead and try it and see what happens. I guess that metal's a little thicker than I thought it was. I was trying some lower heat, so hey, whatever. 220, 221, whatever works. Alright, let's try the smaller hammer first. Alright, that did work. Alright, so this is the inside, I guess. I'm not familiar with these really that well, but there's your packing material. I'm not going to touch that with bare hands. I'm sure it's not fiberglass, but I don't know. It'll probably give me a rash. I got enough rashes. We'll talk about that later. So we're going to get all that off of there and set this aside. And then we need to get the other pipe up here with the 2-into-1. Two!
Please stop that.
And the muffler still attached. and get that son of a bitch off. And then we got to repeat the process here. But we'll just cut that off later and then grind it. You won't even know it was there because that's all pretty much covered up anyway. I was intending on painting these anyway. The heat to resistant black paint, so it's going to look good anyway. You know, I forgot to mention, I was going to do that first off, so I'll do it now. The way these things are attached to the cores usually are at the end here. There's a rivet or a screw. There weren't any on this, of course, but there is evidence of one that was there. Now, I didn't drill that out or take it out. That's the way it was. So you see you have kind of a countersunk hole where there was probably a rivet that held this originally. So it leads me to believe somebody's had this apart and repacked it once. So we'll just put a pop rivet back in that when we're done, if this works. But I just wanted to point that out, that that's why you didn't see me take any fasteners out or anything, because there is none here. And again, there was none there where apparently it was supposed to be. This is the one from the one I was working on was from the left side. I should have mentioned that. This is the one from the right side that's still attached. This one's not in bad shape. May not even have to do any dent removal on this one, just some polishing and cleaning and doing some things like that. So we'll keep that in mind. Actually, there's one right there, but it's probably not going to be visible. It's on the inside, but we'll deal with that. I got to get it off anyway, because to work with this thing, you really need it off the pipe, and I want to repack them, as I said before. So let me get the clamp off, and we'll try it. When I got that one separated, and you can see it in one of the videos, I forgot which one it was before, you know, off the bike, the right-hand side, left-hand side, rather. And this one, I'm sure, is just as tight. Just rusted in. Alright. Now, one thing you can do is you can get you in a little closer. You can kind of spread these out a little bit. Spread out! And get them to release. So I'll do that, just kind of pry on them a little bit. And sometimes that works. Just to give it a little bit of help, and then we'll put some penetrating Earl on it. I don't want to bend this up, of course, but I need to put some force on it to get it out. These can be a real prick. The other one was really bad. I can't even, you know, I Googled this part number, which is something. I can't read it right now. I Googled it off the other one, and it doesn't even come up in the Supertrapp catalogs or anything. So, I don't know. It's got to be a universal, because it looks like what they offer for a universal. Yeah. I think maybe I need to go back to bed. It's a nice day today, too. I don't know what relevance that has, but I can see right now that we're going to need some heat. See what that does. Probably nothing. I don't think it's moving, is it? Oh, wait a minute. What is that?
Aha! Yes! Eureka!
That's why it won't come off. Dummy. There is a pin here. See? I didn't notice it till just now. There's a pin that clocks this and also holds it in place. I'm going to take a left-handed drill bit, just for the hell of it, and hit that and see what it does. I don't know why I want to use a left-handed one, but I do. Alright, here's a little sidebar as to why I'm using a left-handed drill bit for this particular part. I looked on my horoscope today, and I'm a Gemini, and Gemini's the twins, and it turns out the twins are playing with Uranus. So with that happening, the right gravitational forces on the planet are a little bit less, because they'd like to do a left reach around, and because it's toward the left, a left-handed drill bit is a little bit more appropriate. So I just wanted to let you know why. Looks like shit, but we can fix that too. Ow! There she goes. Ta-da! Yeah, there's just a smaller hole here. All this was is a little rivet. Tap, tappy, tap, taps. It'll be fine. Alright, I need to label this because I'll screw it up. I needed to hit it like a man. Okay, let's get reset up here. Overcomplicate things? Who, me? Of course, the finish sucks, but I'll explain what I'm doing here in a minute. Now, I'm just kind of curious, though. One cut with this 50-year-old lathe, and again, the surface finish ain't great, but I'm wondering what the taper is going to be. I set the tailstock on this not too long ago. Let's take a reading just for shits and giggles here. What it's going to be. Compare the two. Okay, so that's 175, 84, 1.084. So 88. So 4 thousandths. That's really not too bad. 84 to 88. It's 4 thousandths over that entire length. If I did a spring pass, I bet you it would true up even more. That's not the important part here, though. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this here in a little bit, but I have to clean the surface off to do what I want to do. And then a little bit of welding. I'm just going to dress the surface up a little bit better with some emery, and then I'll bring it back over to the welding department, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, you know, 4 thousandths over that length. And if I was doing this for any accuracy, I'd use a sharper carbide, which I don't have right now. I have to get some, but yeah, not terrible. But for my purposes here, it's going to work, so stand by. Okay, so what is this? Fairly cool now is one thing, but what I'm making here is I don't know what you call it. It's kind of like a die, you know, to fit the aluminum tubing, this tubing here, over and work it. You know, like, work it, that sort of thing. Since I can't get inside of it and push it out, what I'll do is I'll run this around and it'll be on a relatively flat surface, and that's why I turned this down, because that piece was very rough. Not that it probably would have made a hill of beans worth of difference for this application, but what did it take me, 15, 20 minutes plus, including setup rather? So what I'll do is I'll use my small dead blow and we'll try to reshape it. And I can get pretty much all the way up to the edge here, which is why I took this edge down and rounded it off so it wouldn't, cause a crease. And we'll see if it works. I mean, something's got to work. If I had a leather mallet, then it'd probably be better, but unfortunately today I'm all out of leather mallets, so what we're trying to do is work the metal around that, because it'll be the high spot. So that dent will be the high spot, and we're going to try to work it around that and see if it'll collapse down. Alright, so swapping over to a bull peen because I need a more flatter metal, surface. I wish I had a bodywork hammer, but unfortunately I'm all out of those too, so you're tight. Over here on the weld is pretty strong, so we don't have to worry about that too much. It'll buff out anyway. My safety squint's disengaged. I only got 4 other pair. You think I can find them? No. So now I worked it with a flat file, and that shows me the high spots. And then we can continue to do this, but we're working a lot of them out already. The surface finish we can deal with. Aluminium is terribly easy to polish and blend up, so I'm not too worried about that. And remember, paint will make it what it ain't, if necessary. But so far, we're making some progress. I have a low spot right there I got to deal with, and probably should show how I'm doing that a little bit more accurately. On the camera, I'm finding the high spot and angle in this thing. So the back side over here where the hammer is, to the lower right of your screen, the back side of that is wedged up against the bar, and essentially I'm levering it. I'm levering a high spot by hitting it further out from that spot. The trick is finding it. Sometimes you can feel it, and I've done this with fuel tanks too, when you reach in there, when you do a classic reach around on it inside of a fuel tank. And if you can find a low spot, you just give it a wrap, and you can kind of feel, oh, I think I'm right on it. I'm next to it. You can feel it coming up a little bit. That's a little bit more. Yeah, see, so it's coming up. It's getting it up. Good. Now, you can't do that too much, folks, because aluminium work hardens when you work it. Work it, and as a result, it's going to get brittle. This time I'll use the peen, or the ball rather, to peen it a little bit. Okay, a little low still, so I'll repeat and rinse and come back. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. I usually use some wetter dry. This is 800 grit, and you need to use a lubricant, so I usually use, whoops, wrong stuff. So just some silicone spray will work. I like silicone on this. It just, I don't know, it works pretty good. I don't know why. And then you work it like you were doing. Just want to give you an idea of what it would look like once we kind of dress the metal a little bit. It's the beauty of aluminium because it just is so easy to work. But again, if I keep doing one spot over and over again, punching it out, pushing it back, and over, it's going to crack. Alright, so still need a lot more sanding here, but you get the idea. Okay, so here's where we're at in that section. It was pretty dented in up here and down there, right where that mark was. It was really dented in, if you recall. It's not perfect, but you're never going to get it perfect this way. I mean, you could work on it for a week and maybe get it 10 or 20% better. I think, as I said before, I'm going to follow the paint will make it what it ain't, protocol, for lack of a better word. And once I get these dented out, or dents out rather, as much as I can, and clean this metal up a little bit more, this aluminium, I'm pretty sure I'm going to shoot these flat black and then put a flat clear or a satin clear of the heat-proof paint on it. I did the similar thing on the ZX10. It came out pretty good. It had a single aluminum can 4-into-1. And yeah, so as you can see in the reflection, that's where all the dents were. You still got a little one right there. See that one? I'll work on that a little bit more. You can't do too much in one spot, like I said, unless you hit it with some heat and kind of soften it, and then that's a little risky too, because I don't really know how much heat to hit it with. There was a big dent in here. This was pushed in right there. You can see the mark. So essentially it crushed it down that way. I got some of that out. These are most likely hammer marks. I will try to get some more of that out with a whiz wheel, not a whiz wheel, but you know, the grinding wheel on the sanding wheel rather, on the little sander, and then buff it back up. This material is pretty thin, but it's not that thin. You know, you can take a little bit off of it to smooth it out. And yeah, so I'll just keep working on it off camera, but this is what I wanted to show you as part of the, again, the spirit of what I say on this channel, and my logo says, don't just repair, or in this case replace, but restore. Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's it on this video. The last thing I'll tell you is I'm going to be ordering the packing kits for it if I can figure out which ones I need. Like I think I mentioned in the video, the numbers don't jive with anything on the Supertrapp website, or the Google machine doesn't come up with anything, the numbers stamped on these cans, that is. So I got to figure it out. But I will find them. I'll get them in. I'll get the other parts I need, the replacement end caps. I do have some discs, but I think they all come as a kit. I don't know. But what I do know is if you subscribe, ring the bell, like the video, none of those things cost you a dime. They help me out, and you get notified when I put more stuff up on this or anything else for that matter. So I've already said the restoration repair things. Let's go ahead and just say thanks for watching. Catch you on the next video.